who is the head of coaching education of FA of Malaysia, and also Haji Zakaria Rahim, who would like to be called or known as Haji Zak. Zak saja. Zak. Okay, Haji, sihat Haji?
Okay, Alhamdulillah.
Thank you for coming and spending your precious time ahead of the match tonight to discuss the knockout stages. Coach, and for those who do not know, Coach Lim Kim Chun was also the first director of National Football Development Plan (NFDP), initiated and introduced by KBS, Kementerian Pendidikan dan Sukan, in 2011. Coach, was it?
It was earlier.
Earlier 2010?
About 8 we started.
2008 we started.
Yeah.
Okay. Then it was rebranded. It was strengthened further in 2013.
Yes.
Whereby your brother Lim Tiong Kin took over as the project director.
Correct.
Okay. Alright. So let us start with Coach Lim. Okay. Having been a member of the technical study group FIFA World Cup in 2002 in Korea and Japan, and also the 2006 edition in Germany.
Right.
Can you tell us, Coach, what is the exact role of the technical study group?
Well, first of all, the selection of the members are done by FIFA as normal, right? And the selection is based on what have you been doing within your confederation,
okay?
Right. So the selection is based on you. Are you actively involved in the technical side of the game, right? So I was involved very much earlier during the 99 World Youth. That was in New Zealand, when New Zealand hosted the FIFA Under-17. So I got started from there, then was also involved in the Olympic, 2000 Olympic, Sydney Olympic.
Okay.
And from there, they look at what you do and how's your performance like.
Okay.
Right? In terms of a technical report and also in terms of your attitude, working, because those days we have to, as a member of technical study, we are involved even in the training of the ball boys.
Oh. Okay.
So the running in of ball boys with the flag bearer, everything, we have to train them. So it was actually quite tedious, but it's enjoyable. So after the 99, then the Olympic, then I was involved in the 2002 FIFA World Cup Korea, Japan. And that was my actual first big assignment, right? And in those days as compared to now, right? The technology has taken and has accelerated tremendously, right? So those days writing reports is manually, right? Not so much in using your laptop, but nowadays with technology itself, you just have to watch the game, right? Let the feedback comes to you that will enable you to express more in your report, right? So during those period, 2002, 2006, watching the game itself, you don't enjoy because you are looking at the finer points of what are we looking at in terms of the strength of the team, right? What formation, when they are in the defending side or when they are in the offensive side. And in the defensive side, for example now, how do they, the minute ball possession is lost, where do they remain compact? How do they drop back to remain compact? And with your raw eye, you actually don't enjoy the game. You're just focusing on what do I have to look for? What do I want? So that my report itself will carry value. That means in terms of your report, it will give a clear picture of, is it real, what you have written, and what others have seen. Is there a similarity?
Okay,
right.
Coach, for example, if you happen to be tasked to be part of the technical study group for one match,
right.
How many of you will be watching that match and be analysing those matches?
Those days, we have only 2 experts.
Okay, 2 experts.
2 experts, yes. 2 experts, but you are supported by maybe a team of 5 or 6 volunteers to help you to gather all the data.
Okay.
So the data is like, okay, how many positive passes, how many negative ones, how many, yes.
Or for every individual player?
Not individual player, as the team progresses, as they build up now,
right.
when it comes to a certain zone, let's say now in the attacking third, how are shots taken? Is it outside the box, right? So if it's outside the box, what is the distance like? So this is where we don't calibrate all those. So it's the assists who are putting on points, you know, and like I said, this is all manually done, and it's actually quite tiring.
20 years ago.
Yeah. So, but it's interesting, you know. So when you are just sitting down and you're just talking to your colleague, did you see that shot? Did you see the move? Did you see the wall passes? Did you see the quick passing? I missed that.
Oh, you did not have a TV monitor to help you?
Those days, not yet.
Okay.
Yeah. Right.
So
but
who were among your fellow colleagues part of the technical study?
So we will have, okay, let's say.
At that time, do you remember who were there?
In 2002, I was fortunate because 2002 Korea, Japan, I was I got Carlos Pereira.
Carlos Alberto Pereira,
Yes,
the Brazilian coach,
yes.
who won the World Cup in '94.
Yes.
Okay.
We were together, and I can't remember because that was the semi-final.
Okay.
So in the group stages, it's you are alone.
Okay.
Right,
then you were joined by Carlos Alberto Pereira for the
semi-finals
okay.
and finals. Yeah.
Okay. What about the 2006 edition?
2006 similar. We are all on our own.
I mean, among your colleagues in the technical study group.
2006, same. We have Andy was there. Andy Roxburgh was there.
Okay.
Holger Oziek, and we have the late Gerard Houllier, Dr. Banglosh.
Okay, right.
Yeah, all
Dr.
this.
Joseph Banglosh. Yeah.
We have.
All big
I
names,
would say those days, those are the top coaches that are involved in the technical study group, right? So, for me itself, it's an honor to be working and sitting alongside them, right? And to me, I remember one statement made by Carlos Alberto Pereira. It was in Daegu. There was a semi-final, third, fourth placing between Turkey and Korea Republic. And he told me, he said, Kim, he called me Kim, you will never see this again. I said, what do you mean, Carlos? It's all red.
Sea of red. The crowd.
The Korean.
The Korean crowd.
And I said, yeah, but you don't have to take a shot. He said, no, you will never see this again. And this is something, now he is so experienced, he has been so many World Cup, and he made that statement to me. I said, wow, from somebody who has won the World Cup and now doing a technical study, and a statement from me like that. You know, you feel humble there. But the situation is such that when you are doing your report, you don't feel anything. You are just focused on what you have.
Did not get to enjoy those matches because you really have to be studying and analyzing every move.
Precisely. And what the enjoyable part is, you are involved in the event.
Yes.
The World Cup event.
The World Cup event.
Right.
Okay.
And to be a technical study member, to be in the World Cup, I would say you are a VIP.
Okay,
you know,
VIP.
with the AD card you have, with the tag that you have, VIP, you can just go.
All access.
You can just go into the lounge.
Coach, before Zakaria gets bored to death, we also need to ask him. Okay, Zach. We know that this year's edition, the technical study group is headed by Arsene Wenger, and he says that instead of having to wait for a few months for the technical report to be ready, the report is immediately after the match. Due to the technological advances, they have 3 or 4 performance analysts to help the technical study group members. The likes of Jürgen Klinsmann is also part of the team, Farid Mondragon. And okay, how do you see these technological advances helping football to be? Today's sport is data driven. So how do you see the progress being made by FIFA in helping to make it more appealing to fans who are fans who are students of the game, basically,
Okay, before I answer the question, Coach, as compared to previous, how long will they get the report? Like
a
few months. Now it's
2-3 months later.
2-3 months later.
Yeah.
Now after the match,
immediately
after the match, they will get the report.
Yep.
So this is what we call the new technology of modern football.
Correct.
Modern football is not about the tactical, the play, the training style, but also the technology that involved in analyzing the match and even the match itself. If you can see, this is the first time in football history that you can see using AI for offside assessment and also the VAR assessment. So we won't know what will happen in the future for World Cup 2030, but World Cup 2022 already we started using the AI system. So having the report, which is immediately after the match, as compared to previously, a few months to get the report, this is a thing that everybody must move forward. But my concern is how far the oldies like us, like all the coaches that we have, can evolve themselves into this technology, because this technology normally in normal statement is for the young people,
younger generation. Yeah.
They are the one who knows about this kind of technology, but we are still oldies.
We're chasing.
Yeah, you can say, we are using AI, we are using this and that. But
that means we need to keep ourselves updated. We need to keep up with the trend.
Yes, we need to keep up with the trend. But can we afford to do so? What I'm trying to say is, you as a coach, all the coaches must start to engage young people in your team to do all this technology thing, because they also can come up with a lot of suggestions what kind of technology that we can use. But the most important part is the cost. To move the transition from the old style of football to new style of football, of course. So how far in Malaysia, if you particularly, we can spend money to have that kind of technology? This thing not only for the World Cup, maybe it can be used for our local leagues. But in Malaysia, not even VAR we can afford to have until now. Maybe in final Malaysia Cup they start using the VAR. I'm not sure, but we can't afford it because it's very high.
So in that sense, Zakaria, the technical study group, is it applicable or has it been applied when you were the team manager for Selangor?
No. Not at all.
Not at all.
Everything manually.
That means
it was 2009, 2008, 2009, 2010. Even when I was in Indonesia, they're not using it. Even when I was in UK before I come back to Malaysia, they're not using all this kind of technology. But it's just currently they start using technology.
Okay, back to you, Coach. We know that when you look at the FIFA website, you look at the teams, you look at the stats being provided. For example, Lionel Messi, he has covered a certain number of kilometers in one match, maybe 26 kilometers, throughout the entire tournament so far. So, did you at that point of time also need to cover those distances of each player at that time?
Not really.
Not really.
Not really, because during those periods, it is our own initiative. If we need to calibrate something, let's say now if I want to know how far a guy has moved, it is more like preparing hard copy myself and having points of movement. Let's say now the field perimeter. So on a piece of paper, I divide that into maybe 10 meters, 10 meters, 10 meters. So a player, let's say on a fullback, right? Playing in defending third, that is 25 meters away. So as he moves up, so it's the points that you put a dot, you put an X, and later on you just summarize it. What is the distance that this person has covered? And that's where those days it's tedious.
It's tedious,
right? Yes.
Coach, would you love to be able to be joining the likes of Sunday Olise, Chaduri with part of the technical study group in today's world, where they have all the available technology at hand, at their disposal, to be coming up with all the statistics?
Sure, definitely. But the experts know that are at the World Cup. They are looking at the game from a different perspective, more into probably the tactical side. Whereas the data collection, they have the team of data collectors who will more or less have the data, feed it to them.
For those data to analyze?
For the analyze and to put into the report. But from Jurgen Klinsmann, Alberto Zaccaroni, Sunday, Chaduri, they are looking at the game in terms of probably what should be done. What tactically now? Why? Let's say for example, Korea against when they lost 3-2, Ghana.
Ghana, yeah.
What was the tactical flaw in defending by the Korean that allowed the Ghanaian manage to score 3 goals? Yeah, so probably those are the things that they have to look at. So tactically,
tactically, that's the thing. Okay, but what about the number of? I mean, did you get the opportunity to speak to the coaches of the various teams at that point of time? Was it required?
Yes.
To be asking them, how do you prepare the team?
Yes.
Because there was also those elements were included in the technical report.
I mean, in those days, we have to set up interview, meet them, watch their training session, and watching their training session and looking whether was there a same situation in training happens, is it being done in the game? So is there a simulation?
So whom did you speak to? I mean, which teams did you manage to?
2006 I watched Kasiding, Australia.
Okay,
Right?
Australia. Yeah.
Australia, Joseph, Croatia. Because those were the time when we have extra time because we were there early.
Okay.
So because after each game we have to pack and move to another venue.
Okay.
So when we moved to the
So
other
you spoke
venue,
to Hiddink?
Hiddink was when he was before his game against what's it? He was playing Stuttgart, I think. Australia against I can't remember. So he's a tough guy.
Yeah.
Hiddink is a tough guy. But it's only when we introduced ourselves and spoke, telling him that we have spoken to your team manager. Only then he
Okay.
he cools down. But otherwise he will be strict. Who are you? Right.
Okay.
But it's fun. It's fun because
So the training that he conducted, same thing was applied for the match.
Yeah.
Proper.
Yeah. But I mean, there will be some instances where it didn't work.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Right. But okay, for us, we are not to whether to classify that it's
Very
successful
interesting.
or not. Yeah.
Zakaria, do you think that this technical study group, together with the artificial intelligence that you mentioned just now, is applicable in Malaysia anytime soon?
Yeah. We need to have that. We have to follow the flow of technology.
Yeah.
Because today's football and also other sports as well, we need to have this kind of technology to be adopted in Malaysia. With that, you can do a lot of analysis, you can get a lot of results to develop your team and to achieve what you are putting for your target. But again, I said, it's all come back to the cost. Do we willing to spend? And because it's not only the technology that will be the cost, the person who in charge on this, like what I've heard, what Coach Lim said just now, it shows that the current modern football, the technical team, you need to employ more people, as extra people, specializing on this technology.
Performance analysis.
Analyzers. So this is what we call total modern football. Malaysia, to answer your question, yes, we need to have this.
Before we
can I just
sure
jump in? Yeah, I would say that we have now not the technology, but here we have all our national teams, or even those league teams, the FCs, the club, they have their analysis. So using the team analysis is good enough. It helps coaches to more or less get the feedback from whatever they recorded, and it helps in terms of that one. And to me, I said we have quite a good group of young
performance analysts.
Young analysts that we have, and I would say most of the team in the Super League, right, and some in the Premier League, and also the president they have, which is it's a good start, right? Because we need them to be the supporters of for the coaches. Yeah.
But when they have They already have it. How the team can use the results obtained by the analysts for the team? Can they adapt to the analysts?
Because what I have seen, because we use them in our courses. So during the courses, the analysts will come and even the fitness trainers with their data on the spot.
Oh yeah, the one
on the spot, they come and give feedback that okay, this player has been running so much, so the time should be given for him to recover, right? And this guy is not running too much, so there should be some pressure on him. Right? So
menarik perbincangan ni pasal kita bincang pasal technical study group ni, kumpulan pengkaji teknikal. Pasal ramai fans juga yang meminati cara-cara taktikal. Kadang-kadang nak cerita pasal attacking third, attacking defending third. Tapi media juga ada kata, some media, even I think a columnist in the Guardian says that bila bercakap pasal tactical ni, it becomes too technical to appeal to the universal punya audience. So but for passionate football fans, students of the game, they would love to be, studying the technical report. As you see, dekat TV tu banyak immediately kan, all the statistics tu yang buat menarik tu. Okay, Coach, thank you for the very interesting discussion. We will go for a break, but before we go for this short break, nampak dekat depan ni, kacang kau-kau beli 3 pack snack kacang kau-kau atau 1 pack snack kacang kau-kau 20, imbas kod QR atau WhatsApp ke nombor kau-kau 0116229933, ada peluang untuk menang hadiah. Jadi tengok skrin ni macam mana nak sertai kuis ni, penyertaannya. Nanti boleh menang iPad, boleh menang football jersey dan juga e-voucher untuk touch and go. Okay. So interesting Coach. Okay, so stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. The Footy Forum will be back soon. Okay.
Basics.
Thank you for staying loyal to the Footy Forum World Cup Qatar 2022 with me, Rizal Hashim. I'm being joined by Coach Lim Kim Chun, Head of Coaching Education FA of Malaysia, and also Zakaria Rahim for the 6th episode of the Footy Forum. And also, as you can see just now, the advertisement on Red One, free official football player jersey of Piala Dunia Qatar for you with Red One postpaid, and simply switch to Red One postpaid hybrid 50 unlimited plan only at RM50 monthly, or to cost saving Red One postpaid amazing RM38 monthly, and you will stand to win official football player jersey of the World Cup in the Demam Bola Red One lucky draw. Nampak gaya ada komen lah. Terima kasih pasal bagi ulasan pada Sinar Daily punya Facebook ni. Zack sokong Brazil. Rosdin Muhammad Yusof kata, mailman Brazil. Rosdin Muhammad Yusof kata, serius saja Zack. Hizwan Ahmad, senyumlah sikit Zack. Semua komen pasal Zakaria Rahim ni. Dia diupah untuk komen. Terima kasih bagi mereka yang those who like to leave a comment, please proceed, and those who are lucky enough to be chosen will be reading out the comments later. Okay, now as we enter the knockout stages, we wish to speak on Asian representatives. Maybe you would like to comment, Zakaria, on the performance of the 6 Asian reps in Qatar World Cup this year.
Okay, as we all know that there will be Japan, South Korea, and Australia.
Yeah. In the knockout stages, yes.
In the knockout stages, but most of the people in Malaysia, when we see Australia as an Asian, they don't really recognize Australia as an Asian. They're just using AFC for them to get their advantage in football, because maybe the challenges in Oceania is not that great for the team like Australia. So when we talk about Asian team, we can see at the very beginning of the World Cup, where Saudi Arabia make a surprise win. They have beaten Argentina, a team which we all know that they have Messi, one of the best strikers in the world, probably. And if you really read about the chronology of the events, where in the first half Saudi Arabia struggled when they were down 0-1 after Messi had the penalty, but the pep talk done by the coach during the halftime really changed the attitude of the players, and they managed to come back and get the winning. But on the second match, they were down. Yeah. Maybe because too celebrating the event. See, this is the problem.
The moment,
this is the problem with the sports people, where especially you can celebrate, but you must stop if you have outstanding matches coming on.
In Asia, or Asian teams, or
Asia
in general?
In Asia, and particularly in Malaysia.
Okay.
So, and then we go to Japan. Also, they have stunning win, as well as South Korea. But unfortunately, team like Qatar, and most particularly the number one team in Asia, Iran, they did not make the cut to go for the round 16. So when the number one team in Asia failed to proceed, that's quite an upset, because we are expecting for the best team in Asia should be the first one to manage to go to the round 16. But anyhow, we have 3 representatives. I think much better than previous World Cup, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong. And we can also see Africa. They have Morocco and Senegal, 2 teams. I think better than before. Unfortunately, Cameroon not there. So if you talk particularly about Asia, here we can see where Asian teams start developing their football, and you can see teams like Saudi Arabia, Iran, and even Japan. I think during your playing time, when you play with Japan, they are having the same size like us, or even a little bit smaller than us. But now they are different. You see, so Korea, the skills, the determination. These are the things that Malaysia needs to have and to start developing and start to, because out of 35 million people in Malaysia, you only need 25 to 30 people to represent our country. And if you're talking about bringing Malaysia to World Cup, but we couldn't find the best person. And in fact, we start doing the neutralization. If you look at Qatar, as compared to other teams, Arab Saudi, Iran, Japan, Korea, they don't neutralize players. But Qatar, they neutralize a lot of players.
Qatar, they did,
I think half of the team are neutralized players. But they lost all their games. So Malaysia, Indonesia, even Thailand start neutralizing players, but they don't really make the cut. They don't really performing that well. So you must trust your own players if you want to go. But it's a matter of how you develop these players. Japan and Korea, they were behind us during your time, playing times. In Pesta Bola Merdeka, we have beaten them. In Asia Cup, we have beaten them. Even in Olympic qualifying, we have beaten them. So we can do it, but it's on how the organization, the coaches, the players can develop themselves. But if you ask me, in the next 10 years, I don't think Malaysia can go to World Cup.
Coach, you are involved heavily in training the coaches, giving them the proper education, and giving them the licenses. And actually, what is the biggest stumbling block for Malaysia to try to match or equal Japan and Korea? They've made big strides over the years, despite, as rightly pointed out by Zakaria, we beat them. We beat Japan and Korea in 1971 Olympic qualifiers, and also the Merdeka tournaments over the years. But when starting in the 80s, they began to make greater strides, and we've been left behind.
No, I would say they want the Japanese, take Japanese, when they have set their mind towards a mission, they went all out to achieve it, right? And that mission itself is being shared to the country. And football for them is like a culture now, because before it was baseball that overshadowed football. So when football started to get, when they qualify into the World Cup, and that's where football started to grow. And at the helm, the vision of the president was very important. And those days, the vision of the president was Captain Kawabuchi. And that's where he said, yes, when he said that, he said, we want to be world power in football in 2050. All right? So that has been the same journey since. Right? And I mean, just to share with you, in 1998, when Japan qualified to the France World Cup, they sent 40 coaches to go and study football in France. And of the 40, they were divided into groups of 5 into all the stadiums to go and study what is wrong with Japanese football.
Okay.
And after their study, they came back. You know what they did? They said we have to go back to basic. The basic is 1 against 1. And this is the same problem now, lately, when we read about the German. The German is saying now, our football, we have to go back to fundamentals. That is 1 against 1. And that's what, in football here, I mean, even in Malaysia or wherever I've been, I always emphasize football starts with 1. So that is where, in terms of technical study, what can one do with the ball, either himself or herself?
Okay.
And what one has to be good in it. And that's why, if you talk about Messi, Messi was having the ball with him, and that's where the Brazilian, before the boy or girl is been born, is still in the womb, the ball is just in the cradle.
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
So do we have that culture? I agree with what Encik Zach mentioned earlier, yeah, that we are missing something when he said our players are lacking in all this. We have to do something to make sure that the football, there is future here. But who is driving that?
Interesting subject, Coach. But I think we need to cut short the conversation because we are short of time. We need to start discussing on the match that will be kicking off soon. Netherlands versus the USA. Under cancer-stricken coach Louis van Gaal, Netherlands did not have to go full gear to win Group A.
Yes.
But against USA, what do you see their prospects?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, obviously, it's a Netherlands game.
Okay.
This game should be owned by Netherlands, and they have shown what they are capable of at the group level. They are really fully warmed up for this tournament, and now they are in the next stage of the tournament. Definitely, they will beat USA, but not matter of how many goals. And I would dare to say it won't be finished by penalty. They will make full use of.
They will win comfortably.
90 minutes. Yeah.
With Van Dijk, and Cody Gakpo on a scoring streak. Having scored 3 goals so far.
Yes, based on their performance during the group stage. And I would say for all the 8 matches of this round of 16, I would say only 2 matches will end with penalties shootout.
Which matches will that be?
Will be Morocco and Portugal, and another one will be, I couldn't remember what will be the matches. Japan, Croatia. I think Japan will finish because there's another match that I've studied. will be. But this Netherlands and USA will be owned by Netherlands.
Okay. Coach, USA they claim to have a golden generation. They have the skipper Tyler Adams. They have Christian Pulisic. And Timothy Weah among the mainstays of the team.
I would say, if you look at the coach, right, how long he has been with this team?
Belhatter.
Yeah.
Belhatter. Yeah.
Right, and from his experience as a player before, he knows how it's like to be in the World Cup. So looking at the Dutch the other day, I was telling myself, they have lost that fire when they have lost players like Arjen Robben.
Yeah.
Right? So this
Great
Dutch
winger.
team, if they are going to just depend on Gakpo, I don't think they will find it difficult. And the team is not young. The Dutch team is not young. Right? The senior players are 31, 30, 32, whereas
But I think they have a good mix of youth
they
and
can, but
veteran players.
how much have these young players been exposed, right? But looking at the States and knowing the Americans, they will not let their chance slip away. They are the fighters.
Okay.
Yeah.
They'll make it difficult
Yes.
for the Netherlands.
Yes.
Yep. Okay.
Right.
So we have a few comments here, Coach. Gi Anju, saya Kalse Indonesia dukung Argentina. Oh, dari Indonesia ni komen. Dia Ardian Shah, jam 11 ada live ke Belanda versus Amerika? Ada live tapi bukan di sini. Okey, terima kasih kerana komen-komen anda. Kita teruskan dengan games prediction. You pilih Netherlands.
Netherlands, yes.
Coach, you pilih?
To me, I think I'll give it to US.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, menarik ni. Contrasting view. Okay. Okay. Argentina, Australia. Australia, as you say just now, representing Asian lah, despite geographically located in Oceania.
I think
We start with Australia first.
this morning will be the end for Australia. Definitely it's for Argentina. Argentina is among the favourite to go to the semi-final.
Yeah.
Even though they have lost to Arab Saudi during their first match, but after that disaster, they start coming back better, and they start well organized, and the strikers have their firepower, and definitely, no doubt about it, it's Argentina's match, and they will send Australia going back to Asia the day after.
Okay. Coach?
I'll agree with Zach, because the Argentinian their games are picking up as per each game. And looking at the stats earlier, that was by FIFA, they have a lot of crosses and they have a lot of flank play, and they are very active down the flank. And not forgetting the striker, the young striker. I can't remember his name. Argentina.
Alvarez.
Yes.
Julian Alvarez. Yeah.
And he is the one that who does not, I would say, respect the opponent. He will go
He's
in,
ruthless.
he will shoot. Yes. And these are the players, the type of players that we need to be able to threaten the opponent. And I would say Di Maria in all his game, he surprised me at his age now, and he's just getting down the flank, crossing, getting down the flank, crossing. And Messi is the guy that holds the key. And you can see he doesn't go in; he comes on the back with all his telling passes into I'll call it the penetration that
he makes the late surging runs.
Yeah. And to me, Australia will find it difficult to contain them.
Maybe it's hard for them to emulate the 2006 generation. They had the likes of Mark
Probably.
Viduka,
Yes.
Harry Kewell,
And
Stan Lazaridis among
you
them.
know, at those days, they have a lot of their Aussie boys playing in Europe.
Now they have a few.
But not-
Mui
not-
in Celtic.
Yeah, but not at the
Not at the highest level.
levels.
Yeah, okay.
You see, Argentina, like Messi, Messi is a clinical forward. He likes to put pressure on the goalkeeper and the defenders. So whenever he's off the ball, he likes to put pressure. Because in modern football, it's about pressuring. The more you pressure the opponent, the more chances for you to win and to get goals. So Argentina has that kind of quality.
Interestingly, Messi will be making his 1,000th game appearance at international and club level. So it's something for him to remember.
I think this is the last World Cup for him.
Yeah, at the age of 35. Yeah.
He's alongside Pele.
So definitely he will go all out to make sure that
Pele 1,000 goals.
1,000 goals.
1,000 goals, Pele in total. And as highlighted by our guest last week, Stephen John, on his Twitter, that Australia is the 82nd opponent throughout the years, throughout the decades for Argentina. And also he reminded us of how in the playoff for the 1994 World Cup, Mehmet Durakovic, the former Perak Selangor coach, had to mark Diego Maradona. So there's a lot of sentimental elements, history in this match, and you're opting for Argentina to win comfortably.
Oh yes, and Australia actually they have a very bad history with Argentina. Always with Argentina, because normally, I think during that time they were with under Oceania. And
Oceania, yes,
Oceania
correct.
champion,
With New
they have
Zealand,
to
yes.
play off with Argentina.
Yeah.
And
That was
know,
yes.
so
that
Argentina
was
is always become their nightmare. So tonight also will be a nightmare for them.
And scoreline maybe?
Scoreline. Normally I only predict score after 10 minutes of the match because we don't know the lineup. But if you want to know, it's probably around 2 or 3-0.
3-0 for Argentina. What about you, coach?
I'll be conservative.
Conservative?
Yeah.
1-0 or 2-0?
1 or 2-0.
No penalty shootout, huh?
Again, another one which is without the penalty shootout.
Okay, alright, okay. So we move on to France versus Poland, and the winners will play England or Senegal in the last 8. That's interesting, yeah.
Yeah. France, even they have Mbappe, but they are not really. They are coming to Qatar as a defending champion, but they are not really that to become a champion. But they still for the match tomorrow, it will be owned by them. And again for England, it's another favorite to go to
England to beat Senegal.
England, they will definitely beat Senegal.
They will beat France in the quarterfinals.
This is another one that will finish penalty shootout.
England Senegal.
I'm predicted.
Or France Poland.
England Senegal.
You cannot underestimate Poland, you know, because they have Lewandowski, they have Milik, they have.
That's the thing. That's the thing. Poland will give hard time for France. But at the end of the day, there's
maybe the match will
only
be
one team can win.
Yeah.
So I took France to win. I don't know whether it's a penalty shootout or 90 minutes. I'm not sure.
What about you, coach?
France.
Yeah. Despite having lost Karim Benzema,
I think they
Paul
have
Pogba and N'Golo Conte, strength in that.
Strength on the bench.
But they lost to Tunisia under controversial circumstances.
But Tunisia is because I would say they have their what call that heritage.
Tunisia,
yeah. Because
they have
French,
yes.
So probably that will
emotionally charged match.
So it's like the psychological part will play a very important role.
No, they are speaking the same language, right?
Yes.
So Tunisia know what the players are talking.
That's the thing. That's why when you have those things, I mean, similarity. It's never easy.
Yes.
Never easy.
Yes.
But the Tunisians are like the Moroccans. They are the
North Africans. They are
the killers.
Yep.
So France have to be careful.
Oh yeah.
They must get the early goals. Because they see lately how Tunisian and the Moroccan came back. It's like survival. We want to stay long in the World Cup, so it's like we are going all out, gun blazing.
England, Senegal. Harry Kane has yet to hit the net, but he has provided 3 assists so far.
But surprisingly, Southgate. At first, I was quite skeptical when Southgate was chosen as a coach for England as compared to the previous coaches. But surprisingly, he is performing very well, coaching England, and he has a talent to become a coach, and he has done it. And again, it's all about the planning of the coach for every particular match. How do they plan and how do they arrange his team and which formation they're going to use to outcome the Senegal's strategy. Definitely Senegal will go all out. They want to beat England. England is the team that any teams want to play with them, they want to beat England. Because it's like a big prize for any team in the world when they beat England. But Senegal will face a little bit trouble to outcome the strategy that arranged by South
But
Africa.
some of their players ply their trade in England, you know. The goalkeeper Edouard Mendy, and then you have Zakaria, even though he is suspended. Also Kalidou Koulibaly, who plays for Chelsea. Ismail Essa from Watford. Surely this familiarity with the England side, that means they understand, and you cannot dismiss their chances of Senegal maybe creating a surprise over England, coach.
No, I would say Gareth would have studied them. Gareth would have studied the Senegalese, especially those playing in England. So definitely now, if Senegalese were to think of blocking Kane and also to block Foden, if Foden is playing, I would think Gareth will have something up to counter this. It's like in the Euro, England in the final, right? Who scored the goal? It's from the left back.
From the left back.
So if they are working, I mean, if Gareth were to still, I would say, use that as one of the tool, probably there would be the strength there.
That means you'll be using the left channel.
Either that or you're getting the defense to come forward. Rather than like what has been happening. Okay, Kane has been doing all the crosses, supplying as an assist.
And delivering the passes.
Right.
Final passes,
yes.
Especially.
So now, using the same tactics probably, they might be able to overcome Senegal. But definitely Senegalese will kill more, will mark their star players.
Japan, Croatia, they have beaten Germany, they have beaten Spain in order to enter the knockout stages. Can they earn another scalp over Croatia?
Japan's now, their mood is at the top of the world. So they will continue doing surprise result, providing surprise result to the world. They will overcome this hurdle and they will proceed to the quarterfinal.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Against the runners-up of the 2018 edition.
They are at the best shape now. Japan is at the very best shape, and they're a very high-spirited team.
Do you agree with that, coach? This was the winning goal from Tanaka with his lutut, menggunakan his knee,
from the cross ball.
From the cross,
passing. Now I would say they would not repeat. I mean, they are careful. If we remember how they lost to Belgium, the last World Cup
in the 2018 edition,
So they would not want to miss this again, and they would definitely wouldn't want the mistake to be in their mind. So definitely they would have prepared themselves. Like I said, in the World Cup, all the coaches studied all the opponents. And they studied not just the opponent, the players themselves are studying who they are marking, who they are playing against. So these are things that they know so and so very well, right? So against Croatia, definitely Modric will not be able to be moving freely. So
they'll put a man to mark.
Oh yes.
That
but then Croatia will have Perisic on the left.
But
they
Perisic hasn't been that deadly. It hasn't been deadly. Unlike when he was 2018, and he was very forceful, aggressive.
The most important element that Japan has, as compared to other teams, discipline.
I mean, looking at statistics, they had one of those. The Koreans and the Japanese, the rate of ball possession is very low, less than 30%. But to me, that's not important because it's the spirit. The fighting attitude of the Koreans and the Japanese. That's what makes them strong to do a comeback.
Brazil and South Korea. Prediction. Brazil, South Korea. It's showing out the
that's tough.
CBF.
That's tough. That's tough.
That's tough.
Brazil, South Korea.
That's tough for South Korea.
Tough.
But interesting, they won the match against Portugal with the last minute goal.
Correct.
And you look at how Son Heung-min managed to, being surrounded by 3 players,
Correct.
he could curve the ball,
Yeah.
thread the ball through.
That
No.
was
For,
intelligence of a
oh,
player.
yes.
And that one, it happens naturally. When 3 players come and crowd around you and he just play the ball in between.
Can he do that against Eder Militao? Against
Possible,
Marquinhos?
possible. If let's say now the players surrounding him are not standing still, are not standing upright.
yeah.
That means they come, they throw their body,
Okay,
See.
they have to do that
Yes.
in order to block him.
and that will
How
happen.
many goals for Brazil
Against Korea,
against Korea?
3-1.
No Neymar maybe? 3-1 huh?
Yeah.
3-1. What about you, coach? You're picking
Sorry,
Korea.
Sorry, when you mentioned about Neymar, Brazil at this current stage,
Yeah.
Without
They
with
don't need
or without
Neymar.
Neymar, they will still perform the same.
Okay. 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 Short one. Morocco, Spain.
This will be very
Morocco, Spain. Penalty shootout. You were
Penalty
saying just now.
shootout, yes, yes.
Penalty shootout and Spain to win.
Morocco.
Morocco to win. Okay,
Morocco
coach.
to win. Surprisingly, Morocco
I'll say
will win.
Spain.
Okay. Portugal, Switzerland.
Portugal, Switzerland.
Yeah.
That would be a shootout.
Real shootout, huh? And who eventually to win the cup? Brazil.
Brazil.
Brazil, huh?
This is Brazil.
Beating who in the final?
Portugal.
Beating Portugal. What about you, coach?
Let it happen.
Let it happen. Okay, okay. Thank you very much.
Wait
Yeah.
till the next round. Let's see
Thank you very
whoever
much.
progress.
Prediction.
Thank you very much,
Thank
Coach Lim, and also Haji Zakaria Abdul Rahim, for entertaining us with your thoughts and your inputs. And thank you very much for all the audience who've been watching us live. And don't forget to stay tuned to Sinar Daily various media social platforms to know the show times. And stay tuned to the Footy Forum World Cup Qatar 2022. Good night.